there was sales leadership, organizational leadership. Uh, so yeah, a little background on my journey, but it did start from an engineering firm and went on from there.
It's very, very interesting, overall. And I feel like we were talking before the show, as well, just about the, what it takes to get into life sciences as well. Just love to hear, kind of the key challenges that you might have faced, and also how did you overcome them, but also what, where do you feel like your biggest opportunity came, to come into life sciences?
Yeah, I think it's a hard industry to move into, whether you're moving into the pharma biotech, maybe you're moving into the tech space. I think the different industries are very specific on what it is they're looking for. Um, when I look at individuals, I look at the skill set they're going to bring. Are they going to be able to b- bring a different thought to the organization? There are very transferable skills. Uh, Again, crossing industries as I did, and I think we talked a little bit about this. Somebody needs to give you a chance, and is okay with developing and training you. Not every company is built for being able to develop and train people. So depending on the size, the scale of the organization, how far they are along in their journey to be able to bring somebody in that they say, okay, this might take a minute, but then is going to catapult them into, into the leader that they know they're going to be, bringing those transferable skills. Overcoming that, I kept my mouth shut a lot and listened a lot. And it was a tremendous opportunity coming into this industry, but I do say somebody gave me a chance, but they did look at the track record that I had and the experience that I had in developing commercial organizations, and the success that I had um, in building something from the ground up. And that's where the engineering firm, took a look at me and said, okay, uh, I have that cross-functional experience, and then they needed to teach me this industry, but uh, nice going into the engineering and the manufacturing side of it, because I got to see how everything was made. And I'm a quick study when I get to look at it and say, yes, this is what it's going to do, and how are we going to automate it or build it. So it was an absolute incredible opportunity for me. And I look back and can't believe the things that we built, that we engineered, that we it improved from a continuous improvement perspective. So it was probably one of my favorite roles, because it was almost endless of what we could do. Um, but we needed to keep it within our core expertise as well.
Yeah, I think I mean, I have kind of a similar story, right? I mean, most of my background started in healthcare. I was at General Electric. They purchased Amersham Pharmacia, so I mean, more or less, whenever I got my introduction to pharmaceutical manufacturing, it was, through, trial by fire, more or less. I had to, quickly come up to speed and be able to talk to, clients at their level, about the
Mhm.
challenges that they might be having. And, similar sort of thing. I mean, I came in with a set of skills that people, understood what those skills were. And they said, hey, look, the skills that we're hiring you for are transferable. The ones that are not today is that you have a significant gap in, what it is that we do. But we certainly think that you have the ability, to, learn this industry. And I spent a lot
Mhm.
of time with an individual by the name of Matt Berry, at General Electric, just in the background in a lab, trying to understand, okay, so what is column packing all about? What is a bed support? What essentially does chromatography do at the end of the day? I mean, essentially stepping through the entire drug development process so that I could at least see it and talk about it, at some level of expertise as well. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you have to have some level of base skill that people are
Mhm.
willing to invest and roll the dice in and say, hey, look, we believe that this person, be able to, to learn. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you have an organization around you, and I'll just call it that, the subject matter experts, uh, being on the commercial side or the leading the business unit there, I didn't have to have all the answers. So I purposefully wanted to rely on the subject matter experts to be able to demonstrate we had the ability, the capability, and the know-how to do it. So it was a good matchup, and we were very successful.
Very good. So, I mean, how has your leadership approach evolved over the years, and what are some of the key lessons that you learned from your experiences?
Yeah, I think over the years, one of the significant challenges I think organizations face is defining and building that solid foundation for successful, sustainable growth. And what I mean by that is they're taking, if they're growing as an organization, organically, maybe through acquisition, at the beginning, they're taking their current technical operational capabilities as well as their existing infrastructure. And then they need to shape that into the future organization that's going to align with their strategic vision, and being successful now and readying it for growth. So I think, when I look back on my career, that was certainly something I see that repeats itself as organizations are growing, they're expanding, is making sure we're ready for the now, and making sure that they're forward thinking. I think a lot of companies pursue kind of an aggressive expansion without ensuring those teams, the systems, the processes are equipped and ready to sustain the desired growth throughout the different phases of their growth and their development. And I kind of talk about that in the essence of a CDMO at this point. And then certainly when you're looking at sponsors, uh, the same things kind of hold true if they're a startup company, uh, and most likely outsourcing most of their capabilities. It's really looking at, are they going with the right organization, and they grow again from people perspective, and capabilities if they're going to start adding on. I think it's important to realize that growth isn't just about increasing revenue. I think a lot of smaller organizations, we just need more sales. We need more sales. But it does require a holistic business transformation across leadership, talent development, processes, and technology, and building it for the future. Again, as I said.
Yeah, so I mean, it's such an important point as well because scaling an organization isn't just about what's in the books for your current sales. It is, can your organizational capacity actually handle it, and will you be able to deliver or not? And does that come through as well in the things that you're um in the things that you're selling? I mean, there aren't many places I can think of in our space where people, you know, don't really deeply examine, hey, is this organization really capable of handling us? Or, are we going to wind up with, something that in the end is not going to help us deliver?
Yeah, and I think my goodness, certainly so much has changed over the, call it the 2 decades that I have been in this space. And the outsourcing has been very strong since I've been in here, and has continued to grow. So again, as you said, making sure your organization is poised for that kind of growth, and developing the right leaders, again, not just for today, but for tomorrow. Um, and making sure that you're building an organization and a culture that is okay embracing change, because it is going to happen. Um, so yeah, it's certainly been interesting for the past 20 years that I've been in this industry directly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's a great transition to to my next question, which is that you both work with small businesses and Fortune 100 companies.